Hello and welcome to another episode of Andy Akright's History. I'm here today with my colleague, Robbie Akright. We're sitting on a unassuming little park bench at 55th and Antioch, just north of Johnson Drive in Merriam, Kansas. Now, it might just seem like an ordinary spot, but something really strange happened here. We're gonna have to go back in time a little bit. The year is 1944. The United States is at war, and the day is July 26th. A B-24 interceptor bomber takes off on a routine training mission from its base in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's gonna come down, fly down to Kansas City, and then fly back. Well, the pilot is named Kenneth Keach, and it just so happens that his wife, Wilma Keach, is staying with her parents right here in this spot. Now, Kenneth wants to be impressive, so he starts flying around the neighborhood, making circles so low that he can wave to people and they can wave back. He is flying at rooftop level. As he flies over his father and mother-in-law's house, his wing clips the house across the street, ripping its roof off, then tears into another house, tears down power lines and telephone lines. There's a series of explosions. 3 civilians are injured, 3 crewmen are injured, and 3 crewmen die. 5 homes are destroyed and 1 shop is destroyed. All right here in Merriam, Kansas. Now, some side stories on this. At the time, a guy named Stevenson was going out to cut down his elm tree. So he was out there with his saw when Kenneth Keach's B-24 Liberator bomber, sorry, not interceptor, Liberator bomber took off the top half of his tree for him. Also, Merriam School was just down the road. They let the students out so that the students could go look at the crash. The students went and took souvenirs, as did many of the neighbors. The next day, the FBI and the military then came and made them give all of what they had taken back to the military because it was wartime. Another side note, this would actually have been called Loomis Avenue and not Antioch Road. The Loomis family owned most of this area, and their house still stands on Johnson Drive in Hadley, about 3 blocks east of us. And it was built in 1886 and still stands to this day. Another story. One of the crewmen was ejected from the plane, and his seat was still on fire. He was unable to get out, and a man and a 15-year-old boy, take him on, went and saved him, pulled him from his flaming seat. Kenneth Keach survived the crash. The pilot survived the crash. He was also ejected, but he survived. Now, at this same time, 2 blocks east, you have an infant boy by the name of Richard Myers. Richard Myers would grow up and hear about this crash and become interested in aviation and airplanes. He would later join the Air Force, and he would become a 4-star general in the Air Force. He was then named the 15th chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on October 1st, 2001, just after the attacks of September 11th. So just after the attacks of September 11th, Richard Myers, who was growing up 2 blocks east of here, was named Joint Chiefs of Staff and served for the first 4 years of the War on Terror. In 2016, he was named president of Kansas State University. So here you have a plane crash of a B-24 Liberator bomber in Merriam, Kansas, 55th and Antioch. In wartime, 3 members of the military die in the crash. 5 homes are destroyed. A shop is destroyed. But out of that, you have a young boy who has an interest in aviation, who goes on to become a 4-star general in the Air Force, and the 15th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Command. This has been another episode of Andy Akright History. I'll see you next time. Say bye-bye. Mwah. Bye-bye.